I'm saying when your hair is curly like this, you're wearing a complete frock all the way up to the neck with florals everywhere. Prince, prince, prince. Hi all and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you 6 designer and niche fragrances that I think are worth collecting, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why. First, if you like this type of content or you enjoy this video, I would love it if you gave this video a little like and help me along my journey here on YouTube. So first we have a very delightful fragrance which I was very excited to come about noticing its release. When it first came out, I was excited to smell it as I was really intrigued by the bottle design of the fragrance. This fragrance is none other than Gucci's A Chant for a Nymph. I was very skeptical on the price of this fragrance when I first saw it, but when I smelt it, I was soon convinced that it was a fragrance that I needed to have in my collection. So the notes in this fragrance is a very tropical note. So it is white and yellow florals with a huge dose of creaminess that does not make this fragrance overly sweet because it has a hint of citrus that balances everything out. But the vanilla base note is what mainly controls the way that this fragrance ends up. I noticed that the vanilla note in this fragrance is what has the most longevity out of all the scents. So upon the opening of this fragrance, I do feel like it has many different notes and it is quite complex. But then when this one dries down, I notice that I am left with a lot of vanilla notes, but it is very creamy and it is also very elegant. I would say that this fragrance is more for my mature girls who like to smell like a tropical holiday, but not too childish or not too sweet. It has a very good balance in here. But unfortunately, the longevity of this fragrance will not take you all day long. I do feel like I do overspray this one slightly, and I sometimes even spray this one in my hair to give it just a little bit more presence. I like to kind of think of the fragrance as if you're on holiday and you get a cocktail and you're more on the fruity side of cocktails, then this fragrance would be for you. Because the fragrance is not overly sweet, it does remind you of a holiday, but it has this creaminess underneath that really captures the essence of all the florals in there and holds it together. Number 2 is heading into the more floral of fragrances, Maison Margiela's Springtime in the Park. Now, you may have noticed that I have a video unboxing this fragrance, and upon first sniff, I did enjoy it a few years ago, but since purchasing the full bottle, I must say that it is not as I expected, and I do find that this fragrance doesn't give me that oomph that I am looking for. I do have to overspray this fragrance, and sometimes I will also use more of a powdery fragrance to amp this fragrance up. So I find that this one has a strong pear note in there, and the white florals and the lily of the valley is not so overpowering in this one. If you want something a little bit light, easy to wear to the supermarket or daily errands, nothing too important, then this fragrance is a good one to have in your collection. The design does not come with a lid, and I'm not sure why they did this for the designs because I never pop this one in my bag, and it is a short-lived fragrance. So it is kind of unfortunate that it doesn't have a lid. Otherwise, I would be popping this more often in my bag. I'm just very afraid of the interior of my bags getting ruined with a fragrance leak. So I do spray this one quite heavily before I leave the house. You may have heard of this fragrance before. Tom Ford's Flirty Portofino is one that will set you in quite a good mood when you wear it. I love the design of Tom Ford's bottles. I find that the clear but still timeless bottle design is like a new modern take on old perfumery and how they used to design their bottles. I find this fragrance, it is so elegant and so easy to wear, this fragrance, because it is a very complex concoction of florals. And I find this one a very dressy fragrance, but a daytime fragrance. The notes that are most overpowering in this one are bergamot, orange blossom, magnolia, and a sweet musk in the base note there. This is very complex, but I find that it hangs onto your clothing and your skin. So out of all the Tom Ford fragrances, I would probably have to say that this is probably the most worth, in my opinion, for my purchase, because longevity is actually really good in this one. And it is just me. I love florals. I love white florals and yellow florals, and anything that smells different to the very generic scents, I'm always very intrigued on. And this one has such a nice blend to it that when I smell it from the bottle, it makes me feel so happy. And the people around me when I wear this all just seem to comment on how I smell, and I smell so nice today and elegant. And even though I don't wear fragrance for other people, I definitely appreciate when someone says that they like my fragrance, because it just helps me feel even happier. I might actually spray this one today. From First Wolf, this fragrance smells amazing, and you don't even have to let it dry down to really appreciate some of those notes. I find that this fragrance from first spray to when it dries down is just amazing. The sophistication of this fragrance really does make you smell like you're very well put together. I wouldn't wear this fragrance with jeans and a t-shirt, because I find that there are so many other fragrances that are more appropriate for that sort of outfit. I like to wear this fragrance when I am quite dressed up. Not in a complete formal outfit, but like dressed up during the day in spring, summer. So a floral t-shirt or something with lots of paneling, necklaces, earrings, just that little extra piece of elevation to your outfit. This fragrance really works well with those type of outfits. A more green floral favorite of mine that comes at more of an affordable price tag for some people who do not want to splurge on fragrance. That's completely understandable. I find that fragrance is one of those things that you have to develop the love for, to appreciate spending just that little bit more on a scent that is going to make you feel good and happy with your purchase. Well, this fragrance is a long-time favorite of mine, and it is really interesting because I have developed and loved and then not loved some fragrances and grown out of fragrances, but this one holds its test of time, and it is none other than Gucci Bloom. This fragrance does not lack uniqueness and elegance. It is just those things, and it is a classic, in my opinion, of Gucci fragrances. It's well loved by many, and I have had this bottle for so long. I bought it in Australia and it lasted all through my travels in Europe. I've used it a lot. The main notes in here are tuberose and jasmine, and I find that this fragrance is best worn with the most floral attire that you have. So I'm saying when your hair is curly like this, you're wearing a complete frock all the way up to the neck with florals everywhere. Prints. This fragrance is my favorite to wear and to pair up with my printed garments. I find that it's a very good daytime fragrance, as when it's hot and during spring, summer, this really radiates around you. And it kind of reminds me of if you're in the garden and you're just lying in the grass, in the flowers, you're playing with flowers, you're picking daisies, you're picking sunflowers, and you've got all that kind of green, kind of floral smell on your fingers. It kind of gives me that kind of a vibe, but in a very nice way. And I find that if you're like a country girl and you're going into the city and you've got that garden smell with you, this is what that reminds me of. And I still don't have a fragrance that smells exactly like this one. I have many other florals, but I don't have one that's as green and as floral and that resonates so well. It doesn't have the powdery notes that a lot of my fragrances do have and that I have come to love. This one is more fresh and it's definitely green and floral. Another good favorite by Gucci. Then we have a little bit more of a youthful, playful scent that I find perfect for summer and spring, especially summer, because this fragrance has no age boundaries or limits. You can wear this one in your early 20s all the way up through your mature years. It does not smell too grown up to a lot of people, and it is well loved and popular. I get many compliments when I wear this fragrance, and it kind of makes you smell put together, like you've put all these different lotions and you've washed your hair with a certain scent, but it does not make it seem like you've tried too hard to have a presence about you. It just smells like you've accumulated different scents and you just smell that good. That is Soleil Blanc by Tom Ford. This fragrance, the most common notes in this fragrance would be coconut, amber, and there's a woodiness about it that really holds everything together. But it also has florals, and I think that the florals is really what helps me to find this fragrance suitable for me, because without the florals, if it was say just a bit of coconut and a bit of woodiness, I find that maybe it would lean a little bit more masculine and I wouldn't enjoy it as much. But the florals are so delicate in here and they just bring everything together and elevate this fragrance from what could be just a generic, very simple coconut fragrance to another fragrance that has more punch to it, elegance, and this essence that when people smell it on you, they think, oh, you smell so good. What is that smell? I can't grasp it. That's what they all say when they smell this fragrance. I find the longevity on this is okay. It is not amazing. I do have to top this one up, but it is quite easy to top this one up. I don't have any problems popping this in my bag and spraying it out through the day. It's a beautiful fragrance in my opinion, and I will probably repurchase this one. And last but not least, with a many turn of events, this fragrance started off with a little bit of a dislike of a relationship, and then it turned into something else as I went through a whole sample bottle of this fragrance. Initially, I thought that it was a little bit too overpowering, way too musky, way too powdery, and I just could not get behind the concoction of the fragrance. That is Creed Aventus for Her. After I finished the sample of this bottle, I actually started to miss it, and I've never had that with a fragrance before. I missed this scent and I really wanted it, so I bought the full bottle and I have not looked back since. I've made a bit of a dent, and this fragrance will be coming with me on my next holiday, which will be in Greece, because I find this one perfect in hot weather. It is a summer exclusive. There are many notes in this fragrance. The main ones that I pick up are fruits, so pineapple specifically, which is similar to the Creed male version, which I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's just Aventus. Yeah, so this is the Aventus for Her, which come out later on. And the pineapple in here is definitely present, as well as some other fruity notes in there. It is powdery and musky, but when you first smell this fragrance, it smells like it won't blend very well. And I must be honest, it needs to dry down to fully have the best effect of this fragrance, because when I smell it from the cap, it is sharp and it is like something is not quite connecting. There's some citrus in here and some woodiness as well. I'm going to spray this one on my other arm. Now, this is another fragrance that whenever I wear this fragrance, a lot of people want to know what it is because it smells very elegant once it dries down, and it's very strong as well. So this one will carry you all through the day. There is no worries about that. It is going to smell elegant and still tropical, perfect for warm weathers if you're going out for brunch. I would say that this is definitely a t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance. Now, the reason why I say that and mention that is because a lot of people like to just dress effortlessly and still smell very good. But sometimes I find that some fragrances don't suit dressing down, and some fragrances they don't suit when you're very dressed up. So I find that comparing a fragrance to whether or not it is suitable for a t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance is quite helpful to me. And I find that if it is one of those fragrances, then it is an everyday fragrance. I would wear this one every day, but I would love to save that scent for special trips and occasions when I can associate good memories of the fragrance. So I find that this one is a perfect vacation scent, and it can be worn casually if you do like this kind of smell. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Now I'm going to go out and enjoy the fragrances that I just sprayed all over me. If you have any love for niche or designer fragrances, I would love to know what they are in the comments section. We can discuss and have a little chat, even about some of our favorite notes. There are so many different fragrances out there, and I love it when people share with me what they're wearing, because it always opens up for new doors and opportunities. If you like this video and you want to see more of fragrance related content, then give this video a thumbs up, and I hope you have a really good spring summer.